excited and honored just to be with you and that you're joining us. We are really going to be talking tonight about just transforming lives. And we're going to be hearing some amazing stories. And I know that a lot of people who are listening to this recording and even here live come from different reference points. Some of you are clients, and this is something that you tune into. We have these often because we have so many amazing stories to share that we love to do with them, every few weeks or so. So maybe you're tuning in and this is part of your health journey, or you're just curious about what comes next along your health journey. Maybe you are a guest and you're invited to just check out a little bit about the program. You're just seeing what it is and want to hear some inspiration. And maybe you're looking into health coaching and that's why you're here and you're just curious to hear a little bit more about that. So we're definitely going to be sharing some stories tonight. So we just kind of invite you to sit back and listen as we really just as we go through some stories and we go through just talking about the program. And I just want to introduce myself. My name is Dawn Chow, and this just kind of, briefly a little bit about my history. This is my family and a little bit of the reason that this program and this journey is so important to me. About 6 years ago, I was working full-time as a registered nurse. I was busy working 13, 14-hour days, and I wasn't taking the best care of myself. And I kind of found myself where I wasn't as happy and living that vibrant life I wanted. So thankfully, I found this program and a fantastic health coach to walk beside me, and I was able to lose 45 pounds. And part of the reason that I wanted to help others, obviously as a nurse, that's part of who I am. I wanted to help people, but I didn't really have the tools. This gave me the tools to help someone really important to me, and that person's on the lower left. That's my dad. So we did this plan together. We both thought we were just starting to lose weight, but what happened is it actually transformed our whole lives. And as you can see, that's my husband and our little girl, and really our lives have transformed, and we have this whole beautiful community around us now that is focused and centered on health. And fast forward 6 years, we are healthy and happy and really just embracing and living life full out. So just wanted to share a little bit about that. And then also we have what we call really our trilogy of optimal health. These are 3 components of health, and we believe that they're all interconnected. And so we're just going to talk about them briefly, but we're going to kind of go into each area a little separately here in a bit. And you're going to get to hear some stories that are kind of highlighted in each area. But really, healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances is such an important part of just being optimally healthy for life that we kind of really wanted to talk about those. So this is going to be kind of interactive. So go ahead and engage with us a little as we go through these. And so it's going to get a little fun, but really kind of take account for where you're at in each of these areas and then really kind of think about that and think about how things can change. So kind of walk with us tonight through this journey. The first component that we're going to talk about is healthy body. And really, when we talk about optimally healthy bodies, we're talking about your best physical health. And everybody comes into that at a different place, right? So as you're looking at this and you're looking at these words on the screen where we're talking about physical health, relaxation, what's your work environment like? That's not something I'd ever thought about. What's your healthy weight and eating habits and sleep? You might rate yourself at a 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 because you've been on a journey and you're working with a health coach or you're really working on those things. You've made some wonderful improvements. You might also rate yourself at a 2 because you're sitting here and these are areas that you'd really love to see some improvement in and you'd really love to learn how to do that. So just take a moment and really think about where is your healthy body score right now? And kind of write that down and jot that down. And what would it look like to maybe even just move up a couple of points on this scale? You'll notice that the 10's not there because we're all on a journey and we're always working and focusing on our health. So moving forward is the key, not necessarily reaching that perfection. So here's some key elements to a healthy body. You'll see that healthy weight is where a lot of people come in and start. That's just typical. It's kind of where we are in America. A lot of us need to start there with a healthy weight. But we also take a very comprehensive approach to health with healthy eating, healthy motion, healthy sleep. And a big part for me in my health journey has been healthy sleep reduction or healthy stress reduction. So that's very important and something that's so key. So I would love to invite our first guests on tonight to speak and share a little bit about their health journey. Norma and Larry, can you guys unmute and just share a little bit about the awesome journey that these pictures represent?
Guys, thank you for being here with us. We really appreciate it. We'd love to talk to you. Larry and I have been nurses for 36 years. We've worked night shift for 36 years, so we've had a lot of lives. At one point, I had a doctor tell me, as long as you were working nights, you'll never lose weight. And I got to the point where I would work my stretch and just come home and sit on the couch and do nothing. I was just way too tired. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I had Christy actually reached out to us and said, hey, why don't you try this? And so we did. I'm down 65 pounds and my life is totally different. The picture of me crawling through Mesa Verde is, where's it going?
I think someone's messing with it. Promise it's not me. I wasn't even touching it. Okay, keep going.
My daughter and I were at Mesa Verde this summer, and we were crawling through this hole that was about 6 foot long and about 18 to 20 inches wide. Last summer, there's no way I would have been able to do this. I would have had to be either pushed through it or pulled, and that just would have mortified me. So my health is much better. My life is much better. I'm much happier. It's pretty awesome. And then Larry's going to tell you about what he did this summer.
So my one of my big goals was on my bucket list was to ride across the nation on my bicycle. So when I decided I was going to do this about a year ago, I decided that if I was going to pedal my butt across the United States, I'd like to have a lot less butt. So I started pretty heavy. Virginia to San Francisco Bay, 4,000 miles, 260,000 feet of climbing. There's no way I'd have done this at my old weight. During the ride, we had issues because we're out in the middle of nowhere where we didn't always have food. I always had the product, the fuel that we have with me, and whenever we'd ride 2 or 3 hours, I'd be having 2 or 3 of the products just to fuel my body. And when I was short of fuel, I could hardly even pedal a bicycle. So the products are outstanding. During the ride, all 4,000 miles, I only lost 5 pounds because I had lost weight previously. But I did lose 8% body fat. So because of this program, my body's become a fat burning machine. And I was using my fat as energy, not the muscle. So it was really outstanding, and had a blast. And I'd probably like to do it again someday.
That's incredible, you guys. Norma, I love your story where you're like, I would have had to been pushed or pulled through that little crevice in there. And Larry, that is just fantastic. Well, there was definitely a lot less of you pedaling that bike this year, and love that you shared some of those really key things, that you're burning fat, not muscle. And that is one of the beautiful things about this program. So thank you so much, you guys, for sharing. That is truly inspiring. And next time you go on a ride like that, I might be your support person.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get there we go. So, Larry, Norma, you guys talked about a couple of the components, and we're going to just go through them very briefly. We have 4 components. We have a health coach. Okay, that one-on-one person that's going to walk by your side. We're going to talk about these a little bit more in depth later. The second component is our Habits of Health, which is a very unique system to our program that's great, but also helps make health long-term a possibility. We have a community that is absolutely amazing, and one of the things that people love the most. And so, very key. And then, Larry, what you just mentioned, we have amazing fuelings. And so we'll kind of go into that. So we'll start with the first component there of the health coach. Really, that's that one-on-one personal person walking by your side, often has a health journey of their own. We all do. But really that it's that assistance. Research shows that assistance not only helps with, having assistance and accountability on your journey of health, not only helps you get to a healthy state of being, but also stay there long term. And that is what's so key. And maintaining it long term is so important. And so our health coaches are here to guide you to have healthy habits, to learn those healthy habits, to plug you into to a community that's going to just help support you and encourage you. Also, as health coaches, we provide support and encouragement and really partnering with you. So what I love is that health coaching doesn't take that much time. Once you get rocking and rolling on the program, a couple weeks in, you really are kind of on autopilot. You're doing great, doing exactly what Larry said. You're burning fat and you're enjoying it. You've got energy. Your health coach is there to check in once a week, to encourage you, to celebrate with you, and to really guide you into the other components that are so helpful in your health journey. So I love that. I love that the plan is simple and you certainly don't have to like drive somewhere and go to long meetings or things like that. So the second component is our Habits of Health, which is really a unique book and workbook that was written by our co-founder, Dr. Anderson. And so it's really a comprehensive educational approach to health where you can create that healthy mindset and, integrate habits that are going to last you for a lifetime. It meets your needs. So there's different tools that match your learning styles and also match your schedules. And so that's also very important because we really focus on creating long-term well-being versus just dropping pounds and then, gaining it back. It's that long-term optimal health that matters most to a lot of people. The third component is our community, which is one of my favorite parts because I am a social butterfly, but it's important. It really is that team and peer support that we have. We have such a wonderful community where we really learn and we grow together. All focused on our journeys to optimal well-being. And the weight loss really follows that. Our community is empathetic and supportive, and it's really about having more optimal days in your life. So you're getting tonight on this call a little sneak peek into our community. And also we have so many wonderful things like our Facebook wellness pages, our Habits of Health calls, live video chats. It's incredible, the breadth of our community, and really that you can tune into what resonates and fits best for you. And again, your schedule. And then of course our fuelings, which are designed to provide the right nutrition at every stage of your journey. I love that, when Larry was on his bike ride, it wasn't necessarily about losing weight. It was about fueling his body for what he was asking his body to do. And in the process, he even moved farther forward in his health journey by losing body fat percentage and probably gaining some solid lean muscle on that. So, but the amazing part is that you do burn fat and it protects lean muscle. The program's simple, scientifically proven, and has a really solid nutritional profile, which as a nurse, that's so important to me. I love that. It's so important to all of us nowadays. We also have options that are all natural, nothing artificial, many gluten-free options, like pretty much anything that you might need, we can fit to tailor that. So I just want to talk a little bit about our fueling plans. A lot of people start with a weight loss phase, although we have many different plans. I used our Nursing Moms plan and have worked with people. We have a special plan for diabetes and even for teens. But most people are asking about our 5-in-1, which is our weight loss plan. Balanced nutrition, clinically proven. There's over 70 choices that are amazing. You just fuel your body every 2 to 3 hours, which is 6 times a day. We all know that that's how we should eat, but really finding the time to do that is what can kind of throw a wrench in things. So this makes it simple. The 5 fuelings that come to you from us are grab and go meals. And then that one fueling that you create a day is you get to prepare it or you can have it out. It's very flexible. We call that a lean and green. My favorite part, I should say my husband's favorite part, was that it was very affordable and actually is cost neutral. I saved money by being on this plan just by literally being mindful of where my food budget was going, what I was eating, what I was putting into my body, and being able to say no to some things that really were extra and I didn't need. So I love that part of this is very important. So at like between $13, $14 a day, you can fuel your body and lose weight, gain lean muscle, and really move your health forward and learn a lot of tips for long-term health. So this is a wonderful part, just in a snapshot about really getting healthy being a journey. You'll notice that step 2 here, reaching a healthy weight, that's where a lot of programs, I feel like, leave off. They kind of leave you there hanging. And with this, we really focus on, creating health long-term. So if you fast forward to step 6, the potential that we have built in with this amazing support and structure and community is the potential to really live a longer, healthier life. And there's some steps there in between. but that is really what's possible here. And I think that is so important, because it's not that health isn't a destination where you cross the finish line, right? Maybe drop your backpacks and go off and play. It's a journey where we work on it daily. And it's about having more optimally healthy days than not, and always kind of working in that direction. So that's what that's about. And I love that what we know is when we put all those together, when you put the coaching, when you put awesome fuelings together with our Habits of Health system and all the learning, those tips to create long-term happy health, and then you also have this amazing community, that is when long-term optimal health is possible. I just love this quote, inspire yourself with what's possible, because really I feel like that's what we get to do every day. I would love to bring on one of my dear friends and my co-host tonight, Miss Christy Schuster, to share a little bit about the next part of our trilogy of optimal health, which is Healthy Mind.
Thank you, Dawn, and thank you, Larry and Norma, for sharing your story on physical health. So amazing. So the next part in our trilogy is our Healthy Mind, and I love this because really it's kind of like the silent part of our trilogy. It's our mind. We can't see our mind. So what this is organizing your life around what matters most. And just like physical health, we have, you can come in at a 2 all the way up to an 8. And Healthy Mind is all about your relationships, how you feel when you're at work or when you're at home with your family, having time for community involvement, wanting and having the energy to go out and have hobbies, go have fun. So one of the things that is so true about this is you can have maybe the physical health, you can have the financial health, but if you don't have the mind, you're not going anywhere. So one thing I would like to really ask you to do is take a minute and or take a second and maybe just look at that and rate yourself. Are you at a 2 or are you at an 8? And like Dawn said, what would be that next step to just kind of bump you up to the next level of your Healthy Mind? So with that, it is my honor to bring on Kelly. She's going to share her testimony on Healthy Mind. Kelly, are you there?
I'm here. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Kelly. So if you could share with us, when you started this program, where would you rate yourself if you were looking at our number scale there? Were you sitting at a 8 when you came in?
Oh, heavens no. I'm lucky if I was at even a 2 at that point. I mean, I would say between a 1 and a 2, somewhere, low on the totem pole. Just stress, just making me such an irritable person, no fun to be around, work or home. I was miserable with myself, and therefore, it just kind of spilled over onto everyone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after you started our program and started with our healthy feelings and connecting, what did you notice different within even like a month, 2 months in your mental health, like in your mind?
My mental health soared. When I started losing the weight, getting more confident in myself, I became a happier person, more positive. I mean, before my job was a very stressful place. And I couldn't just leave that at work. I would bring it home with me and just, snap at everyone else. And where I'm at now, a majority of that, I leave it at work, and even then, I find myself being even happier, more positive there too, just getting that confidence. And I mean, it's an amazing feeling to have that positivity back,
Yeah.
like I did when I was younger.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you recently decided to pay this forward and start helping some some of your close friends. Can you share just a little bit about how that's helped in your relationships and how you feel about work and life and all that area?
It's, with reaching out and, helping close friends and loved ones start on their journeys to health. It's just an amazing feeling to, get random texts and random messages throughout the day of their excitement, in which turn I get excited for them, and I get days where, they're struggling, and it's, I'm staying positive, keeping them positive. I mean, it's a domino effect, really. I mean, it's, if I'm not, positive and putting out that energy, how am I supposed to help support them? So, I mean, it really has been, a gift, to be able to pass that on, to them as well. I mean, it really helps myself too.
Wow. Thank you, Callie. I just want to share, I've noticed a huge difference. I remember when you started and when we started talking last fall, and to see you just thriving in your life and loving life again has been so much fun. So thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you so much. I'm happy you had me on.
So the next area on our trilogy is basically our healthy finances. So what that means really is living an abundant life. But what does an abundant life look like? So again, I would just kind of have you guys look at this, and when you look at abundance, when you look at freedom, money management, your budget, your future, do you have savings for retirement? What does that look like? Are you able to give freely to any charity that you wish, or are you living paycheck to paycheck? So take a look at this, and maybe just, again, kind of look at your life and say, where is my healthy score on finances? So I'm going to just share a little bit about my story on healthy finances. And let me tell you that when I started this program, I had no idea what healthy finances meant. I mean, I came in and I was below a 2. I wasn't budgeting. I was living paycheck to paycheck, going to bed, crying most nights, trying to figure out how I was even going to pay my bills, let alone trying to find a budget when I knew I needed to get healthy. So along with healthy finances, I woke up one day and I knew that my health was a disaster, kind of as a result of my finances. I wasn't taking care of myself, and the stress of that was deteriorating in my health. So I called Dawn and I said, all right, I'm ready. I need to do something, and I need to take care of myself. So through our program, through the continued support of a personal health coach, our Habits of Health, the community, everyone just pouring into me, I was able to transform my health to a point where I lost over 100 pounds. And in that process, I had actually quite a few people started asking me what I was doing, because when you lose that much weight, people tend to notice just a little. So, so finally I was, I had no intention of helping them. I had no intention of becoming a health coach. That wasn't my idea at all. But it's amazing that when you start feeling good, when your mind, when you can focus, when you have the energy, and when you're loving life, it's amazing how much you want to just pay that forward and pay that gift to someone else. So I became a health coach, and wow. Started out as just a little hobby. Within a couple months, I had replaced my school income as a behavior interventionist. And within 7 months total, I had tripled my income, and I was able to actually come home. I was able to come home and be with my family, my two beautiful girls, my husband, and my best friend, my biggest supporter, who is there for me daily, telling me that it's okay, you can do this. And as a result of that, I've been able to do some of those lifelong things that I love to do that I couldn't do when I didn't have the finances. Traveling, we love to just travel. In the last year, we've been from, Orlando to Baltimore to DC to Del Coronado and San Diego to, Austin, just everywhere, just having fun, loving life, traveling. And, the best gift ever is being able to wake up with the choice to do this and to serve other people and to see people come off of their medications and feel better again and have the energy to be mommies and daddies and to be there for their family. And, there is no better gift at all. So thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Brad, for being there and supporting me and encouraging me and loving me. And Bill. So with that, what if you could create a life of optimal well-being for yourself, your family, and help others do the same? What would that look like? Who are we as coaches? I get that question actually quite a bit. Is there a skill? Do I need to know something? Do I have to do something? Or, educational background? Well, actually, we as coaches, we come from all areas of life. Some of us are parents. Some of us are professionals. Some are entrepreneurs from other companies. Some are lay people. Some are just people who have, who are health conscious, who love health, who love to just, make better choices. Some are health professionals, doctors, nurses, dentists. Some are full-time, some part-time, and some just really come in like I did and just want to do this with spare time. Like, what is spare time? Anyways. So the benefits of sharing, the benefits really of paying this gift forward to others comes down to, accountability for your long-term health. Most coaches, if you can imagine, obviously, if you're helping other people get healthy, you better be kind of walking the same life. You can't be eating let me rephrase that. We're not perfect and we're all human, but we we need to be leading with our own health also to help other people. So accountability. One of the best things that I love about this program is you do not have to be at your goal weight. I was still kind of in the middle of my journey when I started cheering on other people. Some people actually some people just start health coaching when they start getting healthy. They bring people on with them. And then also just the gift of being able to pay it forward and help someone feel better in their life because you feel so good. You want others to feel the same. Dawn, I think you had some other tips to add to this.
Yeah, I do. Christy, thank you so much. I love your story and just your heart and your passion and the fact that I remember when you said, Dawn, what am I going to do? All these people are asking me what I'm doing. Can I help them? Absolutely, you can help them. I love that. And for me, one of the things and the benefits that I found from helping others, starting off helping my dad, it's that it's rippled into my family. My husband and my little girl are now healthy. So it's like leaving a legacy. That is really cool. And just the fact that we are rewarded for helping others change their health and change their life. The paychecks of the heart are amazing too, Christy, just watching you become the woman that you're becoming and spending time with your family. That's all amazing. And then the flexibility, really when we talk about who we are and what we do as coaches, we really focus our lives around what matters most to us. So I just know that a lot of people on the line are curious about what that looks like and what we do. And so definitely wanted to share a little bit about that. Just as we're kind of wrapping up the healthy finances part of it, some current reality of, some statistics of how financially unhealthy are we. Christy, you said, when you came into the program, that is not anything that was on your radar, like talking about being financially healthy. But when we think of optimal health, the state of America is really, kind of in distress here. 21% of people have no savings to cover an emergency should that come up. I have aunts and uncles that are working in their late 70s. One aunt is in her early 80s, and she's still working because she has to, not because she wants to. And those are things not to be dreary, but it's just it's no surprise that with the effect of stress, and especially financial stress, what that does to our bodies, that it is in that ripple effect that affects us physically. So like you said, Christy, your physical health was being affected by your financial health. And I know that mine certainly was, because I was working overtime shifts and working late into the night, picking up like literally with less than 6 hours, sometimes in between a shift, to work overtime to try to pay off college debt and things like that. So, that takes a toll on our bodies. It takes a toll on our relationships. So again, not to focus on the negative here, because we really are talking about what's possible, and that we're here to help, walk in that direction for people. And we talk about, prosperity and purpose, and really focusing on, healthy finances and abundance. And so, what I love is that this man right here, Dr. Anderson, I want to give a little background on him, because it was him about 15 years ago really taking a step back from that whirlwind, that stress of life. He was a critical care physician. He's actually the creator of our program. He was working full time. He had beautiful daughters that he didn't get to spend time with. So it was him taking that first step, kind of the father of health coaching in a sense, and really of the optimal health movement, because he took a step back and he said he wanted to create a program, create a lifestyle, and bring people along with him to an optimally healthy life, and really linking arms with people and what that looked like. So just a little background on him and then the company in general is that he's really a creator and innovator, really a visionary. He's an author. He speaks. You can see a picture of Brian and I there with him. We were about ready to speak a couple years ago here in Portland. He comes to visit, and we do local events. That was fantastic. But the company itself is publicly traded. It's debt-free. We are very, very mission-driven, and we're very proud to be an American company that really focuses on helping people transform their lives and the lives around them. So just at a glance, Christy mentioned some stuff about health coaching, and I know some of you are on the line curious about this. Some of you are wanting to really focus on the healthy physical part, and that's great. But just wanted to give the background on this side as well. So just at a glance, what Christy's talking about is, helping a few people a month. That's a few $100. That could really help alleviate some stress. Helping a few more is a few $1,000s a month, and that can do a lot for alleviating stress in our lives. And when you talk about centering your life around what matters most, these are just options. And it's kind of like we talk about health coaching as a gift. It's here. We want to share with you a little bit about it if that seems to be what you're interested in. But also it's yours to take and open if you so choose. And so anyways, I want to kind of just draw our attention just for a second at that first level. I'm not going to talk about the ranks or anything else, just going to talk about what's possible right there where you see the executive director. The average annual income there is about $60,000, a little bit more. I know a lot of people who work full time and don't bring home that kind of income. And when we're talking about health coaching, we're talking about centering our lives around what matters most. We're talking about working on a very part-time basis and really working with the people that you know and love and your friends and family. So just that is possible is incredible. And so one of the things I would just love to ask you to just take a moment and reflect on is that if you continue down your current path, where will you be in 5 years? And that is not only in just the healthy finances portion of this, but also the healthy mind and the healthy body. Where will you be in your health? And where will you be with being able to spend time with family? And what about balance in your life? Meaning and purpose? Where will you be financially in 5 years? I know as a nurse, I had kind of hit that mark where I'd been a nurse for almost 13 years. It was going to be another 5 years before I got a 25-cent raise, which is why I was working a lot of overtime. Where would your life be in making a difference? And also freedom and health to really enjoy life and enjoy the time with the people that you care about the most. So just some thoughts as we're kind of wrapping up this evening on where you are now and where you would like to be in 5 years. And what would it look like if you took a step today to make changes in any one of those areas? Because we know that that ripple effect can definitely ripple out into, look what, Christy, you were able to do in just a short amount of time. And so what would that look like? Just taking a step forward and making some small changes now. What can that ripple into? And so if you're on the line and you're wondering what your next step is, definitely it's to reach out to the coach who invited you or the friend that invited you. Take that next step, explore it a little bit more. If you're even remotely interested in learning a little more about the coaching and what that looks like, reach back out to that person to explore that more. And if you're seriously considering joining us on this mission, then definitely take some time and reach back out to that person, continue that discussion on if it's a good fit for you at this time, because it's, like I said, people who are health coaches are 5 times more likely to achieve and maintain their healthy lifestyle. And so this quote is just incredible and speaks to me. When you truly love life and people, you start a ripple effect that changes the life of another, who in turn changes the life of another, until one person and ripple at a time, the world has changed. So there are many of us on the call tonight, many of us who are listening to this recording, that our health have changed drastically because of those of you that shared in your stories tonight. And so just thinking about that ripple and what's possible, that's pretty powerful. So really just we welcome you to start thinking about what would the rest of this year look like for you? What would the rest of 2016 going into 2017 look like for you? We are here to help you, and we thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and just explore a little bit more about our community and what we have to help people move forward in their health and in their life. And so we're honored. I'm honored to be here and privileged to just be able to share with you. And thank you to all of our guests and to those of you that shared your stories, to Kelly, Norma, Larry, and Christy. Pretty inspiring. And so you guys have a great evening, and reach back out to the person that shared this with you so that you can continue that discussion with them. And I hope you all just have a fantastic rest of your summer and rest of the year.